from here.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hi, race fans, welcome. We're here tonight. We got this Nashville, so we're in the what you call it, the country music city of Nashville. That's right. Yeah, it would be the country boys. Don't they have the Grand Ole Opry? Is that right, Tanner?
Yes, sir. Grand Ole Opry.
That's
This
right,
is the
yeah.
country music capital of the world, right here in Nashville, Tennessee.
I've been there once. It was way back in about I think it was like '07. I went there. Nice town. It's kind of unique because I'm in NC, and when you get over the mountains, everything just kind of goes flat from that point on.
Right. Right.
But that's
So,
awesome, man. Now you got to give me a little heads up because I think this is kind of your hometown style track, your hometown
It is.
track. You're going to give me a little info as the race goes on and we get in here about what we should expect and how the track's going to go, because I know these guys are going to qualify now. We got the Five Kings Motorsports, Crooked Line Racing, Tour Modifieds. And folks, if you missed last night's race, go back and watch that one, because it was a thriller. North Wilkesboro with those super late models. It was fun, and I know this one's going to be just as fun. So tell me a little bit about this track. I mean, is this like, what are maybe going to be some of the trouble spots these guys are going to have?
So the worst characteristic, we'll call it, about this track, and there's people that you either love it or you hate it. There's no in between, and we're going to see it bite these drivers all night, Joe. And that's how rough this surface is. There's bumps everywhere on this track, and when you hit them bumps, especially, so there's a tunnel when you come out of turn 2, and that's how these drivers in real life, that's how they get to the center of the track, obviously. And when they built that tunnel, it put a huge hump coming out of turn 2, and now I call it a hump. But, buddy, if you hit it with your left front tire, it's like running over a speed bump.
Now, on this car, that's unique that you say that. Sorry about that, but unique to say, because on this car, the suspension doesn't travel like what maybe some of the other race cars we see.
Very rough, very, very rough track in this car, because whenever it does, when you do go over a bump, as you said, this suspension does not give and take, we'll call it. This suspension just either slams the ground or you're good, and when it slams the ground here, you're going to see drivers get tight. They're going to push up to that outside wall at turn 2. That's going to be the trouble spot all night, is coming out of exit turn 2 down low, and it's just down low right by the yellow line. But you'll also see drivers elect to run that line, because sometimes you hit that bump just right, it helps the car rotate. It's weird. It's like playing Russian roulette almost, Joe.
What about Patton? So you talk about that low line, being down there hitting that bump. I guess passing is going to be kind of, a little treacherous if you're side by side with somebody.
This is a dual groove track. So in real life, the preferred line is about 3 grooves up from the bottom. On iRacing, it's about a groove up from the bottom. But if you get somebody that's fast on that high line, they can be a real bad nuisance up there, because they get so much speed coming off that, and it's not bumpy up there, so they're able to just get in the throttle and stay in it. You'll see, I think the preferred line tonight is going to be the high lane as we start rolling out.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, you got Brad Carpenter putting it on pole tonight here at a good run, about a 1,000th of a second faster than Dalton Kilroy, Zach Murphy, Willie Evernham, and Ed Brown around the top 5 as we look through. And Thomas Axiom, again, just off the pace in the back there, did not get a good qualifying run at all, so going to have to come through the field. A little bit shorter field, but hey, still, like you said, even with that, it's going to be a tough feat, let's say it, uphill battle to come through the field. And Pittman last night, hey, that run he did last night in those super late models was phenomenal. Without pitting him and Raymond, not pitting the whole entire time, yeah.
We talked about that before we went live a little bit earlier with everybody, and I was in the group that pitted, and man, it really it turned out to be a really stupid call, we'll call it.
And it just, sometimes you think it's a good one. Sometimes it can turn out to be a good one and turn out to be a bad one. That's just how it works out racing a lot. But right now, you see Quattro's out there trying to get a little bit better time. Just can't seem to get anything going. Maybe just trying to get a feel for the track right now as we're getting set here to get qualifying winded down, folks. I hope y'all going to enjoy it. We got the Five Kings Motorsports here. And if you want a driver's point of view, go check out Five Kings Motorsports over on Twitch. Now, I will tell you a little viewer discretion there, because it is a driver's point of view, and then you'll probably hear the other guys in the channel there with them, and they're not as let's say filtered as what you would hear on the broadcast side. Let's say it that way.
Not as safe for work over there.
Yeah, it's safe for work and safe for the kids. Which I mean, matter on that point, but I'm just saying,
right.
Just either way, just think about it as it's a driver's point of view. There you
go. Joe, we actually got our post sitter right up in here right now, Brad Carpenter.
Okay, go ahead.
Brad, this is Tanner Marr and Joe White in the OSRN booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
So, Brad, you were fast last night. I think you were in that pack that elected to take tires last night, correct?
Yeah, I still would have taken tires last night. I still would have done it.
Okay, see, I was shooting myself in the foot. I feel like I shouldn't have afterwards. But anyways, we're here at Nashville Fairgrounds tonight in the Tour Mods. A little bit fast style track for these cars. Daylight right now. How do you think this track's going to change as we go into nighttime here?
Well, I'm going to tell you, the setup is freaking good. You get it about 2 laps in, and that thing is rock solid. I don't know what it does long run, but we'll find out. So I turn 1 and 2 is going to be sketchy at the beginning. So that's all I'm going to say.
You know, you said you haven't tried it out on a long run. I helped build the set, and I have not tried it on a long run. So it's I've had people that have, and I've heard mixed reviews. So we're going to have to wait and see what y'all got. Hard build a setup for everybody, honestly, because of the bumps coming out of turn 2. Some people like it a little bit looser. Some people like it a little bit tighter. So we tried to find a happy medium. But anyways, Brad, you put it up. P1 looking strong here tonight. Going to be a good points night for you if you can keep it up there.
It should be, but this is not a knock on Dalton, but he's the one that took me out when I was leading the last time. So we'll see how it goes.
Uh-oh. Well, all right then, Brad.
I mean to do it.
Maybe. We're about to pull him up here, and we'll find out from him. I'll ask him from you, and you can watch the broadcast back and let us know. But for now, you're starting P1, buddy. We'll wish you luck. We'll be here at the end, maybe talking to you.
All right. We'll see you at the end. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brad. Mr. Dalton, we're running out of time. We got to talking a little too much. You got a copy?
Step 4.
So Brad just let us know the last time he was leading, you took him out. You got any rebuttals for that?
Yeah, that was complete accident the first time, and I swear to God, if I do it again, I fully expect to get dumped by him in the next time we even race each other.
So Dalton, I'll ask you pretty much like what I asked Brad there. With this being daytime conditions right now, as this track starts to transition to night, how you think it's going to play out? What's your outlook on tonight?
I think passing is going to be tough, just like it is at most tracks, but at this track in particular, because it almost seems like it's just one groove. So, track position I think is going to be key again, but we'll have to see as the tires wear. I think lap times do fall off a little bit more than they have been past couple weeks. So we'll see as the race goes on who takes tires. And because I know you're going to ask eventually, we're good on fuel, so we don't have to pit.
All right, there you go. They're good on fuel, but I think tires are going to be... So normally, Dalton, we come into these races, honestly, with the competition cost coming at lap 50. Track position normally outweighs tires as far as value is concerned. I think tonight that's going to flip. I think tires are going to be important tonight. Now, you did say it's hard to pass here, but I think tires, this track's very, very abrasive.
Yeah, and again, not many of us really did any long runs, so I think some guys are going to be kind of scratching their heads, got their tails between their legs because they overdrive it and either push tight or get loose because they, are just driving it completely different. So again, we'll have to see as this how this race progresses and how the tires start to go. I think the right rear does wear a little more, so guys might get a little bit looser. Okay. But I don't know how loose some guys will get.
All right.
Hopefully, I'm not the example for that.
Right. I hear you. All right, then, Dalton, y'all are about to go to the grid. Me and Joe's getting ready to start calling the action up here in the Five Kings Motorsports Tour Modifieds. Dalton, we'll be here at the end. Maybe talk to you. Good luck, brother.
Man. Thank you.
We go. Like you said, qualifying's come to a close. Brad Carpenter and company up front going to bring them to the line here. Nashville, a little bit bigger track too than
it is.
As far as, it's still a short track, but it's wider. Let me say it that. When I say bigger, meaning wider. It looks a little bit wider, but it's still, like what you said. I think over the course, if we get a long green flag run, it still could be a very tough place to pass. Maybe get one group.
So I might be where I get corrected when we get towards the end, but I still think we're going to have two grooves. Now, we might not hear it early on, but I think as the tires start to wear, Joe, I think we will. Okay. Another thing I want to add.
It's wide enough. That's what I'm saying. It's wide enough track to do it.
It is. Another thing I need to let the viewers know, we don't have race control tonight. We don't have a live race control. So Joshua Sexton, Scotty Stevens, that's my normal guy for race control. Scotty's in the military, got his hours changed at work, so we understand that. And Joshua Sexton, he races in real life, so he's currently scrambling, Joe, trying to get his car done for this weekend.
Okay.
So I
nice.
am live race control tonight. So when we go back and we watch these replays.
In other words, hey, guys, just, run each other over. Not.
Well, when we go back and watch these replays, not only am I going to be commentating with you, I also got to listen to what you say, watch the replay, and then in my head dictate who's at fault on that. So if I do go quiet when we are replaying, you know why? It won't be like this every weekend. Just a weird occurrence tonight, the way it happened. I'm a little disappointed too. I wish I could be out there with them, Joe. I love this track so much. Nashville Fairgrounds. I love coming down here watching the races live. I've never seen tour mods here in real life. They tried to have them come out one time, but as you know,
looks like it'd be a good track for them.
Right. I mean, I was going to say, as you know, tour mod's not very big in the South, but you're right in Bowman Gray's backyard, basically.
And, and that's the thing. I mean, Bowman Gray is huge for these kind of cars.
Right,
so
exactly.
Kind of interesting what you're saying. Now, I would say Concord, doesn't Concord run them?
They used to. Now, Concord...
I don't know if they do them. Yes, I'm not familiar with Concord that much.
I think Concord got sold and is getting demolished.
That's right. The small... Yeah, my bad. You are right.
I might have it mixed up.
The dirt, no, the drag strip, the dirt, and the actual super speedway itself were fine. Yeah, I believe you are right, Dave. There was a thing several years ago talking about the Concord Motor Speedway, a little short one, a little small one. Yeah. I think it was getting sold.
I tell you what, Joe, these short tracks that are famous across the world, there, it seems like every city is fighting to get rid of them. And I don't know why.
I don't get it either.
This city right here, if they got lucky, they signed a 70-year lease when they had a good mayor that was for it. But now the current mayor, they're trying to get rid of this track so bad, and I don't understand it.
As long as it's good for the economy, as we're set to go green here, we'll get into more of that here in a few. But see, Brad Carpenter get a good jump out front. You got Kilroy there behind him. Murphy, everybody's going to try to see jockey and get that position. Oh, and already Murphy almost lost it. Wow.
Them bumps right there, and that wasn't even the exit bump. That was just a bump on entry.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I think as we go on tonight...
Oh, Brown! There again, as you said, that bump again, and it seems like it's making them tail happy.
It is. And it's going to be... Ooh, Zach Murphy's loose again on exit. It's going to be a topic that we touch on a lot tonight. And you just got to be careful. Dalton talked about it earlier in his interview. He was talking about that right rear. It's wearing way more than the right front. And that's going to make these cars...
Go ahead.
That's going to make these cars get even more looser here tonight.
And Kilroy's around. Yeah, let's go back on the replay here. He was in second, and that's just a product of, I think, what we were just talking about. You saw the bumps right there, and he just lost it coming out of the turn, and then...
Got that apron a little bit.
Got the apron. Somebody else just tried to just kind of avoid it, and it's just pile up in there. But, yeah, got that apron, like you said. Wow, just spinning around. But, you know, you were talking about the cars getting loose, and, you know, bump-wise, something we're going to be talking about all night long. Biggest thing, too, in iRacing, the tire model that they have here, and I know we haven't talked a lot about it, is the first several laps. It's almost like in real racing. You got to get those pressures up, and those tires, it's kind of a different thinking. You would think, well, new tires, they have the best grip. In actuality, no. It takes about a lap or two or a couple of laps to get these slicks and stuff up to where they're optimum temperatures and traction, I guess, so to speak, is the word I'm looking for, lack of a better one. So you've got to be very careful. And that's when not only are you slick when you first start on a new set of tires, but you're slick, obviously, when they're wore out. So it's kind of a fine line, and that's why we do see some of these guys, you know, slipping the slide a little bit, you know, on the start like we did.
You're exactly right. You got to get some grip or get some heat in these tires, which then get grip. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Well, right now, Carpenter's the man out front. You got Murphy, who was out there sliding around a little bit. Everybody's just trying to see what they can come up with. Raymond, who finished up in second place last night, is up in third. Quattro's there in fourth place. You got Casey, who moved it up in fifth. Raymond Fieri?
Good luck. I don't know.
Raymond F. We'll say that. Frank Barb. I'm just going to leave his name at that. Barbarera, I think is what it was. That's what we came up with before, I believe. Thomas Axiom.
Barbary. Sorry,
okay.
I had admins talking to me. Yeah, Barbary.
Frank Barbary. And they got Thomas Axiom. We know who loves coming from the back. He actually started in the backs up to 8th. And Nathan Wenzel there in the 10th. And Dalton Kilroy, who we just saw right there, just lose it on his own back in the 10th. So he's not going to lose a lot. I guess the biggest thing with tonight is not going to be too bad of a points night if you, let's say, blow up, tear your car all to pieces, so to speak.
Well, no matter what, you're going to go home with a top 15 finish. So, I mean,
yeah, there you go.
It's a smaller field than what we're accustomed to. That makes me nervous as a race promoter because I want at least 20 cars out here each and every week. But
well, that's a constant thing, man. I'm gonna tell you, it's a constant thing. You
it's a constant battle.
Promote, you know, you always gotta promote. Just it is how it is.
If we could, really quick, I want to, before we go green here, can we put the camera on Christian Pittman? So we actually, we surprised our young gun, Christian Pittman, today. Me and Jason Raymond painted him a car. And it's his first actual custom paint team ever on this car. Nobody's ever made him one. And so we surprised him today.
Oh.
It's going to be hard to get a shot of it. But
yeah, I don't have my one side
it's
view
all right.
I normally have. But I see the 5 Kings on the back there.
Yeah.
And he's got, looks like, what's that, McConey setup shop on the side?
McConey on the side, yep.
Good little bright, looks like a bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
As they go green flag racing here.
That's it, green flag. Pittman's back there in the 9th place spot, so he's got to be really careful as he's up top. He's got, looks like Barber, Wenzel there on the inside, but up front, you got Carpenter checking out. Behind him, Murphy, Raymond, they still duking it out door to door.
Side by side, we hit on it every week. Get everything you can on these restarts because it's a whole lot easier to pass when you're side by side versus when you're single file stretched out.
Yeah, and that's just going to depend on it. Oh, car around. Who was that? The 4? That's Quattros. Looks like he just loped it, but we'll go back on the replay here, maybe get another shot and see if he had some help. Maybe another product of those bumps.
I think it was the bump, but we'll have to wait.
It was right there. Yep, he got a little loose, and then the car behind him obviously tried to get out of the way.
Yeah, just nowhere to go.
Held him on around, but ultimately that car hit that bump, and you saw the rear end start to come out way beforehand. And I'm gonna go with what you said earlier. That's just gonna be the hot topic of tonight. I think those bumps are gonna trick a lot of these guys.
It's gonna be something they gotta be mindful for. Now they've seen 2 cars go out here and basically spin due to them bumps. In my mind, you're a racer, Joe. I would think, okay, I gotta move up a little bit. Those bumps, they're gremlins right now. They're reaching out and grabbing people right now.
Yeah. I think that middle high groove, what you was talking about earlier, could come into play. Hey, what's up, Coffee? How you doing? Man, what you're supposed to be out here on the track.
Yeah.
He said he was going to hop in. He couldn't get here in time. Would you just get off work?
Stream's looking beautiful, Joe. I just came over here to look at it.
He
must have
he must just got off work, man. Well, we've got Carpenter still out front, and we seen this last night with Raymond. You know, obviously, I think track position, even though, you know, we talked earlier, they said tires might be a factor.
If you don't go on green flag runs, it won't never be a factor.
That's what. Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting there going, well, I don't want to contradict what the driver's saying because he knows he's out there. But from what we've seen from most of these tracks, track position's been the king. And last night was a perfect example. I would have for sure said Pittman's a sitting duck. He keeps staying out there, and ultimately he just stayed. And I've seen that, like I've mentioned before, on 1.5 mile tracks, NASCAR side. I've seen it there. But usually short tracks, man, you know, somebody gets tires, they come through the field. Once it gets, you know, kind of single file, they can come through the field pretty good.
I feel like on these short tracks you would think so, but I think the field's so competitive that it's just hard to pass. And then you put that on short tracks and it just makes it that much harder.
It's been some good racing.
So last night, Joe, I mean, you so excited to have OSR calling the action for us. I wasn't even supposed to race last night. Was in a podcast. Luckily got done just in time to come in and qualify.
You were trying to be famous. I see how it is.
Right. Trying. But came in there, qualified. Never tried to set or nothing like that, man. But felt good as the race went on, you know. And then I made that judgment call. I took tires and never made it back to where I was.
And I said the same thing about Carroll there. I mentioned him before. He came through the field, and even though he did come through the field twice, but that first time he got up there, and then I questioned on why he went into the pits. Like you said earlier, maybe got a little nervous when he saw y'all pitted, but yeah, that track position. I mean, ultimately at the end, it worked out for Pittman and Raymond. They were able to pull it off. Put the win and the second place. So we'll have to see. Maybe it's going to pay off tonight for one of these guys, because in these cars we don't see a lot of guys taking tires. Normally we don't. I mean, and that's or 4 tires at that. I mean, we maybe will see some 2-tire stops. As we go green, Carpenter's going to lead them out.
Carpenter got a really good jump again. That's going to allow... Nope, Zach Murphy's not going to be able to come down. That actually brought Raymond with him. And don't look now with that pink number 13, Joe. He is coming. We see him every single week.
Axiom, yeah. He's right there battling on the inside with Casey. Casey's up high behind him. You got Raymond in the mix, but Axiom is able to throw that thing in. And you see it already, 4-wheel slide. We talked about that with these cars. That's just the suspension that they have. There's not a lot of travel in it, like what we'd see in a normal stock car or something. So almost like an Indy car where these cars will get in a 4-wheel. But look at Casey chewing up the back end.
Casey's been really strong here the last few weeks. He's not getting the finishes that he wants. I heard from him. But like when we did the Summer Clash, big $400 race we did on Saturday, he got up there and he led a lot of laps. He's been
nice.
He's been on a roll. He's had good momentum here lately. He just needs to get that luck on his side and not get caught up in these mid-race wrecks and stuff like that. And I think he's going to be a front runner.
And so far looking good. Like I say, riding here along with Casey, he is just all over the back end of Axiom. As we see the battle up there with Raymond and Murphy, those two are going at it kind of side by side. This gives you a good shot of what these guys are dealing with as far as the track. And I think that's a good, I see him going back down low, coming out as caution's out.
Ooh,
Christian Pittman.
Oh, the young gun's destroying my paint scheme.
Yeah, let's go see what happened to him. I think it's a product of these bumps we were just talking about. Yep, got the apron. Zoom, right around. Luckily, he didn't hit nothing. Well, they didn't hit. Yep, he didn't hit nothing.
Nobody got him. Good heads-up driving. So this is actually Christian Pittman's home track as well.
Yeah. So we were just talking about that there. I think in order, again, the driver's going to do what they feel comfortable with, but just by looking, you would think they're trying to test the waters coming out of the turn, getting as far down to that apron and as low as you can. I guess they're going to have to try to move up just a little bit coming out of the turn to get away from that bump. But then again, how much are you sacrificing momentum and speed for the chance of just not wrecking? I mean, it's right now Carpenter's got it figured out, but then again, it could bite him too.
It absolutely could. You just got to be careful. You got to go over that bump at least 125 times, Joe. You just got to be careful. You can't. And not only just the bump, this apron here, the way the banking works here, and you see it happen in real life all the time. And I think in real life, that's why drivers elect to run up a little bit higher, because it's hard to see when we're looking on sim right here. But it's like the banking just abruptly ends. It hits the apron and it's no more. And the transition from that.
Well, from what we're looking at right here, there too, what you're talking about, you don't see a lot in these cars, anyways. This is what these drivers are seeing.
You can't see nothing. And you can see straight out in front of you, but it was a big problem at Phoenix because that was a really fast track last week, and you can't pick out your marks, Joe, when you're right behind somebody because you have their car in front of you. You have the big air breather right there in the middle of the hood. You got the rock cage to the right. Very, very tough to see out of these cars.
Yeah, you're right there, though, Tanner. I mean, you don't see a lot of these cars really kind of bunched in.
I'm just kind of going through the field here, just trying to check out everybody's car. I feel like we're going to break out a good green flag run here, and that's going to help out the guys that have this long run speed here tonight. Brad Carpenter, he's proved. I mean, with his qualifying lap alone, he proved he has great short run speed. But the way Axiom was able to come up through the pack, man, oh man, I mean, he came through the pack pretty fast after taking the EOL start.
Yeah, we're going to double them back up, like I said here, and All right, double these things back up, and I think I'm with you on this one, Tanner. I think what's going to probably happen after a while is, well, let's hopefully what happens after a while, because I eat my words, is like what you said. These guys will figure out a way to get around this track away from that hump. If not, well, you just kind of maybe have to hope that it doesn't bite you.
If you're going to use that bump, you better hope that steering wheel is straight. I mean,
Yep.
if you got any type of play in that steering wheel, you're going to be in trouble.
Going back green. Got Carpenter out front, Raymond right there beside him. You see Thomas Axiom battling. He's up on that top side along with Murphy. Murphy's been able to bounce back. The problem is you see that car just hop, and I know that's going to be frustrating for the driver because it's just our talking point all night. Now you see Murphy. He did what we were talking about. Scooted up the track a little bit. Still went down low coming out, and then he catches a wall. Wow.
Up front, Joe, we have Jason Raymond at 44 trying to make a power move on the outside. He's going to have the momentum coming out of turn 4 here.
That's what I was talking about.
Carpenter got a little bit loose, and that allowed Jason Raymond to get on by. And now Carpenter's trying to fight with that 13 machine of Thomas Axel.
I think what also there might have helped out. You see Murphy out there, he's trying to find a new way around the track. And we've seen that in the past too. Guys get up in these cars kind of glue, and you see right there just spun it coming out of the turn. Carpenter did, lost all kind of momentum to Axiom. But earlier on with Carpenter coming out, I think what Axiom probably helped him not spin around because as soon as he got loose, he got on his back end. But look at Thomas Axiom. Now he's battling for the lead. He's looking to the inside.
I've noticed Jason Raymond, he showed Thomas Axiom the bottom right then. He was just, Thomas wasn't really there on entry, but Jason still showed the bottom. It looks like Jason's elected to run a little bit higher up in 3 and 4.
That's a smart move to do, is just run a little bit higher up, because you can see these cars, and we saw it there with Carpenter, just get a little bit loose. And both passes with Raymond and Axiom were done on the high side. They weren't done on the inside.
And high side, just, you can, like I said when we first went live, you can actually just go full throttle up there. Now, you still have to drive it a little bit as we go further on back in the pack here. It's Nicholas Casey there. He's got Dalton Kilroy right on his back bumper. I'm not sure who that is in front of him.
Oh, well, whoever it was just went flying.
Getting loose.
That was Wenzel.
Nathan Wenzel. And caution is out on the speedway.
Yeah, let's go back on this replay and watch. He caught the wall a little bit there. Oh, yeah, he was already spinning, and then there was nothing the car behind him could do, and it just sent him onto the wall.
Yep. So, I mean, I got to do race control. I got to just say, if I had to give a EOL, it'd be to Wenzel because Nicholas had nowhere to go right then. I mean, that car was getting loose in front of him. Boy, oh boy, we got competition caution coming at lap 50. I'm hoping these boys figure it out pretty quick because this is a really good track for these cars. It's a really fast track.
Yeah, so we're sitting here in the caution right now. When are they going to try to single file them up eventually?
Waiting to see. I think we are, Joe. I think we are.
Yeah, I think that right now would be, well, they could try it. Still, these guys are going to have to make the pass, and it's going to be very, very tough to make the pass here. As we've seen all night long, I mean, we just can't get off the topic of the bumps. I mean, the bump is what has really thrown a lot of these guys here tonight. We're here at the Fairgrounds, or at Nashville Raceway here tonight. Five Kings Motorsports, Crooked Line Racing, Tour Modifieds. And give a shout out to some of the great sponsors here. You got Butt Kicker, McConey Setup Shop. I know there's another one there, Tanner, the video that you always talk about.
BAM Racing Videos.
There you go,
Good buddy over there, Brandon Metzler.
There you go. Definitely want to shout out to all those folks. It's Thomas Axiom. Rumbled from the back to the front. We've seen him do this a couple times. And he was right there on the back end of Raymond. Does he have anything for him? And the competition caution should be coming up here, what, about the next 20, 30 laps or so?
It's a lap 50. It's going to fly, Joe, but if they have a caution between lap 40 and lap 50, so basically if they have another caution, that will indeed be the comp caution.
Okay. Well, Raymond last
Joe,
night, what's that?
Normally, me being up here, I would like to say, okay, boys, y'all have had 4 cautions, no comp caution, but I'm not in the business of changing rules mid-race, you know? And
Hey, that's all right.
And I know there's drivers like, well, why we have a comp caution? But then I put a poll up saying, drivers, it's in your hand. That's one thing about Crooked Line. We let the drivers decide what they want. And they like having the competition caution. And it's just the tour mods. You notice we don't do it on Monday nights because it's been downvoted.
Well, you know, here's the thing. You don't know. I mean, you never know. Track, race to race, what's going to happen as far as caution. So, I mean, it's good to have that one. I mean, you never can tell.
Ooh,
You see
Raymond
Carter, Raymond got a good jump.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you just don't know what to expect week to week.
No. Battle back here, though, between 4 of these machines. You got Murphy. Looks like Carpenter, Casey. Kilroy went a little bit high. These cars right now are just slipping and sliding all over the track. You go a little further back here, you got Willie Evernham and Christian Pittman. Pittman's trying to see if he can't bounce back from that spin earlier. Almost.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was close for the 14 there, Quattros.
I think that may have been a product of Spotter saying clear, maybe, Joe?
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually clear?
Whew. It was definitely a close call here. As Murphy's tearing up the back end of Carpenter, trying to want that spot. Meanwhile, up front, Axiom, he's going to try. I don't know if that inside groove is where it's at. See, Murphy now is going to, just got action all over the track here now.
Yeah, Murphy's looking underneath Brad Carpenter here. Remember, Murphy's a guy, I say it every single week, he goes 110% no matter what lap. And you need drivers like that because they keep it exciting, they keep it interesting. But speaking about what you were talking about with Axiom on the bottom, I don't know if he's able to ever really get the run off that he needs to get around.
You just saw it right there with Murphy. I mean, a perfect example. Murphy was on the inside, side by side with Carpenter. Just that car won't stick. I think that outside groove's where you're going to have to make the pass. But as the car in front of you, he's just not going to give up that preferred line.
As it gets a little bit darker here, this is a transition race. The lights are going to come on pretty quick. And what that means is the race starts in the middle of the day, or race starts at like 7 o'clock, gets dark at like 8 o'clock in sim, right? So here pretty shortly, it's going to start getting dark. That's going to change the way this track drives. So you may see drivers then elect to move it down a little bit. There'll be more grip into the track. But right now, I think that middle groove is where you want to be at.
And that's what you see Murphy right here trying to do. He's getting on that inside quarter, maybe to make Carpenter make a mistake and get him off that groove that he's in right now in the line. And so, I mean, that's the thing. Right now, Axiom is working over the leader. He's going to try that inside groove.
Yeah, but he's going to try to make it stick right here. If he can stay side by side, I think going down the backstretch without losing a lot of momentum, that's going to be good going in 3 and 4.
Just can't get that bike coming off the turn, yeah.
I think the only time you can pass down low is 3 and 4, and that's even still going to be brutal because coming off 4, you can get really slick down there. We saw it with Carpenter earlier.
And it's just a product of what this track's going to give you and what you're going to have to try to take from it. I think you're going to have to make that guy in front of you make a mistake. Right now, Raymond is definitely on rails, looking good, along with Carpenter, who is, even though he's sliding a little bit coming out of the track, all the turns there, he's still got Murphy all over his back end. But you can see just that line, that's the line Murphy wants that he's taking. But he's harassing him enough to hopefully make him make a mistake. That's what he wants him to do. Mirror drive.
You're exactly right. We're seeing it right now.
There's the mistake.
Yep, he finally did it. There's the mistake coming. And he just kept feeling, he was filling Brad Carpenter's mirror up, and it got to the point where Brad had to eventually look back, and Brad's still loose. They were kind of stacked them all up right there whenever he came back down off the wall.
He just lost it right there and went to the wall. Ouch.
That will be the competition caution right there.
Let's go back and watch it one more time, see. I mean, that car was all kind of sideways. You see it? I think tires were just basically just going away in the rear. And you see him there, just lost it coming out of the turn. Boom, slams the inside wall. Now we got pit stops.
Yes,
Except for Raymond. Axiom on pit road.
I think pit road's gonna be busy here, Joe. It's really not. You got Zach Murphy, you got Thomas Axum.
Yeah, that's the only two that came in from the top.
Let's see if they're starting to jack that car up or not.
He took some tires on the right.
Thomas taking right for sure.
Murphy's taking right.
I love this cam right here. It shows everybody.
Showing really good one here. Let's see if he takes 4 tires. Yep.
I think they are.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So now we're going to get an idea of what the 4 tires will do coming through the field. It's going to be close to a lap down, but we'll get back out in time. But I tell you, it's going to be. Now we're going to see what these 4 tires can do, as opposed to like with Raymond and Casey up there, and Kilroy too. Kilroy only had a 5-second pit stop, so you know he didn't take tires. So your top 3, actually Brown, Evernham, Watrous, Pittman. And none of those guys took tires because they only got 6, 7, 4, and 3-second pit stops. So
right,
you know, so basically, it's a scenario like it was last night. You got some guys on newer tires. They're gonna have to come through the field. Yeah, they should be faster, but you still gotta have that patience.
There's a lot of cars between the fresh tires and the leader.
That's it. And now, is it going to, by the time, let's say, let's use Axiom as an example, by the time he gets up there to, let's say, Kilroy or Raymond, is the tires going to be used up or they're going to be leveled off, like kind of what it was last night in that race?
You're exactly right, Joe. Let's see. You think they need to? We're going to keep them single file here in this restart, Joe.
All right.
We got the power this time. We're going to do it one more time. See if maybe they can sort it out. Yeah, for the ones that didn't pit right then, they got some valuable track position, and the ones that did pit, they lost some valuable track position.
Even now this right here with them being single file, it's even a little bit more of a challenge for Axum and Murphy to get through.
That's not what they want to see right now.
Yeah, because that's even a longer stretch that they got to get there. Even though the cars will be single file, and you would think, well, they could just pick them off one by one. Not necessarily. It's not that easy just to pick them off one by one. They might be able to get a couple on the start, but eventually, coming through this field, remember, these guys are just not going to just move out of the way. So they're going to have to find their own way around them, like high side, low side, and take those chances with those new tires.
You're exactly right. I really think it's going to pay off for them here. I think it's going to do dividends. I think they're going to come through the field not blazing fast because it's single file, but then it's going to force the hands of the other drivers. As Jason Raymond fires off in the middle of turn 3 and 4 really fast there.
I think he knows he got a good jump, like I said, there with Kilroy behind him. The biggest battle's happening right here around about the 6th place spot. You got Quattros, Evernham, and Pittman all right there in the pack. You go back here, you talk about Murphy's the first one with the newer tires. He's bringing Axiom with him. You can just see those two are trying to pick them off one by one. They got a little bit of gap between them and Pittman. The thing is Pittman and all 4 of them cars are taking the groove and the track that they need. So let's see it. No! That's Kilroy. That's Pittman.
No,
my bad.
Pittman climbing the wall.
Oh, wow. Was able to hang on to it. Going to bring it down on pit road, but that's twice tonight. Just unfortunate on his end.
I think he has something broke, Joe, in the left front.
If he didn't have anything broke on that car, that thing's made of Superman.
If I was Thomas Axum and Zach Murphy here, and I think they kind of are without really acknowledging it, if those two just kind of work together and try to get through the field instead of trying to work against each other, if they can just kind of stay single file with each other and have Axum follow Zach Murphy wherever he goes, they'd be better off that way.
And you just saw right there, Murphy was able to make the pass with ease. With those newer tires going on the inside, but it still took him almost a lap and a half to get it done. And then right here, he's having to battle with Evernham. Evernham's not just going to move out of that groove, so Murphy's going to have to muscle it in there, and then Evernham goes up the track. But you see just how hard it is to pass him with new tires. It takes him about a lap or so. Yeah, he's probably going to catch it as long as it goes green, that is. Oh, and there's what we're talking about, the mistake.
There's the bump. Oh, it's going to collect that other car that was blinking.
Oh, and then
there's Frank Barbary. I give that a 10. He just got a 10.
Look good. He the gymnastics for cars, but unfortunately Murphy is smoking. That motor is hurt. But wow, just like what we were talking about, they have to take a few more chances to get around because, guys, it looks like he's done for the night too, unfortunately, on his end. But those guys, even with those newer tires, just can't get up there and go blowing through because guys like Evernham, Brown, and all them, they're going to hold their line, which is the preferred line around the track. So you with the newer tires, you got to figure out a way around them. And we saw that bump. It didn't matter if you had new tires, old tires, or whatever. It's jumped out and bit everybody tonight.
It absolutely has. That's one of the faster guys there. Just disconnected, wasn't happy.
And Frank Barr just went for the ride. Wow. Well, we got Raymond on pit road, Winslow on pit road, Quattro's on pit road right now. So just unfortunately, some attrition here at the Nashville Speedway here tonight. Short track racing for the Crooked Line. 5 Kings Motorsports Tour Modifieds. It's all been Raymond out front. Kind of like last night with Pittman. You know, when we talked to him, Pittman said the only time he didn't like the caution was maybe when it was about 20 to 30 to go.
Right. Where is Pittman back out on track? I'm trying
Pittman
to
doesn't
find...
look like Pittman. I think is. Nope, he's done. Not on the track.
He's manually disconnected.
Yeah, so him. It looks like Frank is back on the track. Murphy obviously is done. Quattro's still on pit road trying to get some things. Pittman and Carpenter officially out of the race. So it's Murphy, Pittman, Carpenter officially out of the race as of right now. And that's some heavy hitter names, you know, to be out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that just goes to show you I'm racing. And short tracks in particular, anything can happen. It doesn't, you know, skill-wise or whatnot. You can be the best in the world and still just have a bad night. Got Raymond out front. Kilroy, who actually has had a up and down night. I mean, Kilroy has tried to tear the wall down. He spun earlier, but he's up here in second place, not giving up. And the car's still in one piece right there. You got Casey behind him, Brown, Willie Evernham sitting in fifth, and Axiom still, you know, luckily he got through all that. And he is sitting in the sixth place. You got Raymond, Raymond F right there. He's in the seventh. Wenzel back out there in eighth place. Frank Barb is a lap down, but hey, points matter here. He wants to stay out.
You know, to only be a lap down after going for a ride like that must feel like a win.
Yeah, I mean, he might be more than a lap down, but I know he's at least one lap down right now. So back in ninth. I mean, and again, here's the thing. You know, people might be like, well, why in the world would Frank want to come back out here? Folks, we're not done. What if the rest of these 8 guys, you know, all blow up? Frank wins the race. There you go. I mean,
exactly. I mean, it's racing. It's racing. Anything can happen, Joe.
Green flag, especially with a track like tonight, as treacherous as this place has been. As you see, Raymond gets a good jump out. So mostly your actions happen back here with Thomas. He's going to try to pick them off one by one. But again, he's on that inside. He has got to be very careful because all night long, it doesn't matter, new tires or old tires. That bump right there, you just saw it, can step out and get him. But he got around Evernham clean. Now he's going to work on Brown.
Just got to be patient, Joe. We talk about it every week. Patience, patience, patience.
Mm-hmm. And I see him. He's still staying low, Axiom is. I mean, obviously he's going to be one of the fastest. Brown blinking just a little bit in front of him, but he's still staying down low and not opting to go up high.
I think he feels comfortable down there, but we've seen it. You just got to be careful. That low line with them bumps or even that apron, and that's seen some of our best drivers in the series.
I think the blinking right now might be right there's where he needs. Just go ahead and get up the track. But even with that little bit of bobble, it's still going to take him a half a lap to get around. He finally gets around it. But I was about to say it. I think Axiom was a little bit gun shy to get up there near Brown with him blinking. Yep. And that's why it was taking so long to get near him. But that little bobble that Brown did allowed him to get around him clean. Now let's see if we can run Casey down or has the tires neutralized. Well, see how much of a last lap he ran an 18:01 to an 18:15 of Raymond, so it's about a tenth and a half. I mean, yes, it's faster. It's not as fast as we're thinking. Oh, caution's out. Frank Barr. Well, Frank is not having a race he wants. Let's see what happened to him right here. Oh, it looked like a car got tight, come up the track, and then just went side by side with somebody else there. Oh, Frank not having the night he wants.
Can I see it one more time, Joe? Sorry, I was handling something else. Let's see what we got here. Just because I got to determine.
I mean, from my angle, it looked like that car got tight, came up, and he got into the 03. See right there, pushed up, boom. And then they just came together. I mean, I don't know how you call it, but racing.
Racing. Just racing.
That looked like racing to me. I mean,
just racing. Stuff's going to happen. And you can't give Frank an EOL because he's already in the back, so what's that even amount to?
yeah, he's already some laps down, so hey, you know. He's at the longest line right now. So.
Right.
Poor guy's just having a bad night.
As we are coming up on, what lap we on now, Joe? I'm all out of kilter over here. Lap 73, correct?
Yep, lap 73.
Still got Jason Raymond. He's been the top dog all day long.
Yeah, Raymond's been the man out front with Kilroy. Kilroy, I got to give him credit. He's had some action early on. Like I say, spun earlier, got on the wall.
Right. Good bounce
he's back
back.
up there in second place.
Something we didn't touch on earlier. I didn't realize Jason Raymond actually started P6 on the grid, Joe.
Oh, okay.
So, and it seems like, just thinking back on it, I feel like he's been up front all race.
So yeah, because Carpenter was our man who put it on pole. Unfortunately, just got the bumps got out there and got on him early on. But so yeah, it's been all Raymond. Now Raymond last night did an outstanding job with that car. I mean, finished second, but he was out there up front most of the night.
He was. He stayed there even with old tires like we hit on. It's his track position. And right now, even though Thomas Axum's in fourth, yes, he is getting closer. But we still have about 50 laps to go, Joe. And this field's getting smaller with people that's leaving because they're getting crashed out. What if, say in 10, 15 laps, Jason Dalton and them, what if they elect to go take tires? Then Thomas's tires are pretty much, they're not all the way cooked, but they're a little bit older.
Now, again, after watching last night, I mean, and I've watched all the season with the Tour Modifieds. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Raymond's not going to pit unless he absolutely has to pit.
The only way I'm pitting if I'm Raymond is if Axum gets around me.
Yeah.
The way it's looking right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no point in it. But I think if Raymond was to go, I think some would follow him. Because remember, there wasn't very many that actually went in with Axum and Murphy when they did pit.
No, Kilroy hasn't went in. I mean, he went in on lap 4 when he did the spins. We go back green, but from what I'm seeing with Axiom back here, you notice he's gotten up here, but it's taking him a little bit longer. You're seeing those tires are falling off. Yeah, he's a touch faster, but we something we talk about a lot on some other series, lap times and what it takes to pass a car. People that in racing, I mean, it's all about the times. We've got a battle for the lead. Here comes Kilroy. He's going to look on the inside. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it or not, but in order to get around a car cleanly, just to be able to just go past right on by him, you're going to have to be a solid 10th, maybe 10th and a half faster than that car.
Absolutely.
If you're a couple hundredths, even a half a tenth, yes, you might get to his side of it, but you're not just going to go blowing on by him, and it might take you a while if you can. Like on a track like this, you might not even be able to make the pass. But those are the things that we look at when we talk about times, and you talk about Axiom ran a 17.99 to an 18.04. Folks, I'm telling you, that's nowhere near fast enough to get around the leader.
Enough.
Not enough. So he can get there. He would be able to get to his side, harass Raymond if he could get by these cars. But to just go and say, oop, I'm going to go right on by you, not going to happen. So that's the things we look at when we look at lap times, or I look at them a lot when I look at how fast the guys coming through the field, how the track is put up. Because your top guys right now, Tanner, you've got a 17.99, 18.01, 17.98, 17.95, 17.98. Wow, that's almost dead even. And you see it on the track; they're all right there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So the stopwatch may say Axiom was faster, as he's actually going to get underneath Nicholas here and make the pass. But just from the eye test, he don't look no faster than the 2 cars up in front of him right now.
Right, and now right there on the flip side of it, you saw Casey. Casey basically just made a mistake and went high on the track, which he just killed all his momentum, made it look easy for Axiom. But you saw how much work it was taking Axiom, like right here with Kilroy. He's not just closing in, he's not just barreling right to his inside. Last time he ran a 17.99. Now, Kilroy did run an 18.14, same as Zach. Let's see what they run this time as they come across the line. Okay, Axiom ran an 18.17 to 18.14, so it's only a 300ths difference.
Right. And, I mean, we did have some cautions in the start of this race leading up to the competition caution when Thomas did take his tires. Yep. So maybe they didn't use their tires too much.
He took his tires on lap 49. That's when Thomas pitted. Obviously, Dalton pitted on lap 4, but it is a 5-second pit stop, so he probably just put some fuel in, got a little bit of optional damage. Raymond is yet to pit at all. And you can see here, yes, Axiom's going to be faster. He's going to be able to get on the back bumper of Kilroy. This is probably what he wants to do. It's a psychological game on the track. And that folks, we talk about speed, we talk about time, we talk about talent on the track. Psychological warfare of getting on somebody's bumper can get to that driver in front of you after a while.
We saw it happen earlier with Brad Carpenter whenever Zach Murphy was just following him, and then he finally did a little small slip up, and that allowed Murphy to get around him. It's Thomas Axiom. He's trying to look low of Dalton. He's going to get there this time, but I don't know if he's going to have the momentum going into turn 1.
Nope,
it's going to be a drag race on the front stretch, and Dalton won that drag race.
Yeah, you saw a little bobble by Kilroy. You got a little sideways, allowed Axiom to get on the inside of him. But again, it's been all that momentum. But you can see he's doing what he needs to do. Make Kilroy watch that rear view mirror. Make him overdrive the turns. Make him miss his spots coming out of the turn. Just make one little bobble mistake, and I'm going to come right there and I'm going to slam it through the back door.
I know Jason Raymond's thinking, please, my teammate Dalton, just stay wide. Don't let Axiom by you.
Absolutely.
Jason hasn't ever won in a Crooked Line Series, and he told me today he wanted a good run tonight, and he's had one thus far.
Well, I mean, we're seeing what Axiom is doing, which is perfect of what he needs to do. He's getting on that inside. He knows that car's a little bit, He had
to lift. He had to lift stay off of him.
I mean, he knows his car's a little treacherous on that inside. He doesn't want to open the door up, though, for Casey, because Casey could slide in and take it away, and that's one more car he's got to deal with. But, he knows that it's a little treacherous down on that inside, but he's got to do it. He's got to keep Kilroy honest in front of him. If not, Kilroy's going to get very, let's say, comfortable, lack of a better word, and just stick right there in that groove, lap in and lap out. So by going down on the inside every once in a while, it keeps Kilroy looking in that rearview mirror and maybe make that mistake he needs.
With Axiom, I think he understands. He realizes he is faster than Dalton, but we just said you need to be quite a bit faster, and he's going to get him right here. But I was beginning to wonder how long Axiom was going to let this go before he finally. Ooh, a lot of smoke on the speedway there down the back stretch.
Barb was crashed. There's no caution, but let's go back on the replay and see what exactly happened. It said that he crashed along with Nathan Wenzel. Oh, Nathan is in front of him. Nathan hits the wall, comes back up the track, and I'm surprised I didn't throw a caution. Wow, racing must be asleep.
I'm not sure why Nathan didn't hold his brakes right then, Joe, to be honest. Just came back up across the track.
Well, he went in he hit that inside wall, so I might have threw him back up. Who knows on that one, but I'm kind of surprised I didn't throw a caution, but we're still in the green.
Right.
Axiom now, he's got a little work. Let's see what he can do. He is a touch faster than Raymond out front by quite a bit of ways. Oh, that lap car almost cost Raymond. That allowed Axiom to get on his back door.
That really did. And lap before this, before they crossed that time by, Axiom was actually almost 0.3 faster than Jason Raymond.
Yeah, I saw that. And
the way the laps are starting to wind down, Joe, and we said, so if Axiom gets around Jason, if that's me, I feel like I got to pit for tires. But, man, the clock's starting to wind down here on the laps.
Yeah, at a certain point, there's no way you can. I mean, you might understand you're not going to win the race unless, they have a problem up front. But, a good coming out here with a good finish. And I got a feeling if we click past lap 100, at that point, Raymond, pretty much whether he comes around him or not, stays out the rest of the race because any benefit he would get from the tires, he's gonna lose it by time and just run out of time basically on the track. But He's holding his own right now with him. And then last time by, it was an 1850 to 1847. Another thing, Tanner, you got too is Raymond had the benefit of his teammate back there letting him know stuff. Now he's out here and he knows Axiom's a touch faster than him. He's out front. He could be overdriving some of these turns just a hair.
Absolutely. It changes when you know versus having a teammate back there, just having another racer. Your mindset and how you drive the track changes.
See what else right along with Axiom, see how well he's wheeling this car around, if he's fighting with it or whatnot. He goes in a little bit high right here into the turn. Looks pretty smooth actually right there. And he's got a little crooked there on him, but he's looking pretty smooth. He's fighting it a little bit in that turn because he's down low in those bumps. But all in all, he looks pretty straight. Oh, well, as I say that, don't watch the broadcast, Axiom. Don't pay attention to us, man.
I can tell you, Joe, just sitting here watching Axiom, he's choosing different lines, and what that's telling me is he's kind of getting frustrated right now because he feels like he's faster than Jason.
He looked smooth though with the wheel, smoother than I thought he would look, even with those bumps.
But like 3 and 4, sometimes he's down low, other times he's up high trying to get that run off, and he's searching the track right now, trying to find just that one groove that's going to work, just to let him by Jason Raymond here.
And you know,
Jason Raymond is showing him the high side right here.
That's it. And Raymond right now is going to make that car as wide as he can. He's not going to give him the preferred line. He's going to make Axiom run, but I don't know if I'd want to give him that high side. Oh, and you see that. I mean, now here's the thing. Axiom's using a lot of those tires doing what he's doing, and that's the game plan that Raymond wants. Raymond wants Axiom to use that car up.
You're exactly right, Joe. I mean, every lap that Thomas is running behind Raymond right now, and he's searching all on the track, and he's really, really pushing. Each lap that goes by, he's using his tires more.
That's it.
Using his tires more.
And it's going to make it that much harder to go around him. You know.
On the flip side, yes, Jason Raymond is too, but Jason Raymond's just running his line. He's not really switching up anything if we go back in the pack.
Yeah, we're going to hear this is actually 3rd and 4th. They've been battling it out for the last several laps here. That's Brown and Kilroy. So not only we got a battle for 1st and 2nd, we got a battle here for 3rd and 4th. You know, can Brown kind of muster it around and get Kilroy off pace? Then you go, as we say that, he gave up the high side, and then he all loops it. Oh. We've seen it all night long.
Oh,
wow, let's go back. I want to go back to the
Is that the second time, Joe, we've seen the leader loop it?
Yeah, let's go back on the pass here and see how Thomas got the high side away from Raymond, because that's what we've been talking about all night long. You give that high side up, and then we'll just let it run on and through to what happened. See if maybe there was a mistake by Raymond that allowed Axiom to get up there, because, it looks like maybe, right there he got on the side. Looks like the bumps caught him. Oh, he just passed him down low.
He just drove it in there deep.
Yeah, looks like the bump got him, and then they were side by side, and we just kind of caught him up high. That's why. And then Raymond just threw it down there, and his tires are just too old for this, I think. And zoop, just looped it. Man.
I think he had so much wheel input in it, Joe, to try to stay off Thomas there, and ultimately it just sent him around.
Now would be the time Raymond would pit. I would pit. I mean, Raymond, there's at this point, really, I would pit.
You got nothing to lose right now.
Yeah, you got nothing to lose now. You're going to come in and wins on Barb. And I think still at this point, I mean, we got, about 18 laps to go. Probably, 15 when we go back green. He's got enough. It might not be enough time for him to get up here and win unless obviously Thomas or Brown and him make a huge mistake up front. But it could get him back into a good top 5 finish here.
You're exactly right. And there's only 7 cars on the lead lap.
That's
maybe 8.
So he's not going to lose a lot by doing this.
It might be 8 if Nathan gets the wave around here, which I'm sure he should. Lucky dog.
Yeah, I think he's going to get it. Like you said, he's in pit road though, but he's going to actually start behind Raymond. So he opted to go in pits. So still Raymond's going to should stay out in 7th place. So again, with those 4 new fresh tires, but you got Kilroy that put on new tires.
Right.
Evernham that put on new tires, and Casey. So you've got Casey, Evernham, Kilroy, and Raymond. So Thomas Axiom's not out of the deep water yet.
He's not safe yet. He's definitely not safe.
Yeah.
And we talked about patience earlier, Joe. Sorry to cut you off, but whenever
patience done now. Whew.
Right. Whenever Zach and Thomas came in, They put him in the back of the pack, and we said they had to have patience. We're coming to 15 to go here. I think patience goes out the window now. Now you just got to try to get every single thing you can as they're going to go back to double file
last
restarts.
night I heard Pittman said he just tried to get the best start and get out front as far as he can. I think that's the game plan Axiom has to do, because now he only has a 2-car cushion between Casey Evernham and all the guys with newer tires. 2 cars, one or two of those guys could get around those 2 cars very quickly, and if they do, Axiom could be a sitting duck, because those newer tires could play huge. Again, we've seen weirder things on racing, but I think Axiom's got to get the best start and get out front as far as he can, and pray that Brown and Raymond can hold those guys up maybe for at least 8 or 10 laps. That would help.
Yep. That's what he needs. That's exactly what he needs. They go back double file here.
And I think the double file, well, this was smart on Axiom's part to take the inside. Why? Because it puts that one oddball car behind him, and it puts the other car with the good tires up behind the other one, so it kind of splits them out. Now, you've got, who is that back there in the number 9? That's Evernham. He could shoot down to the inside. He didn't get the start he wanted. Evernham didn't. Oh, man, that's, wow.
That actually held up Jason Raymond there as well. But it looked like Raymond gave him a little bit of a hit before they got going, and that may have checked him up a little bit. You see, I think it's Ed Brown in second. He's kind of a new face up front with Nicholas Casey trying to go behind him. Nicholas Casey's going to get into him.
Yeah.
Dalton's not able to get by. Going to get slight contact, not much.
Yeah, that was just, I think, a product right there of new tires versus old tires. Casey just is going to have way more head of steam going into that turn than what Raymond would have had, and he basically just got in the back end of him and turned him. Real product of new tires versus old. The thing about it is, the good thing, Leroy looked like he didn't get a lot of the damage. Bad news, Axiom now has no cushion with nobody. Well, he's going to have to pray these guys battle between themselves back here.
It's going to get interesting right here.
Yeah.
It's going to get interesting.
Yes. I mean, because you're going to have now Kilroy, Evernham, Raymond. You still got Casey there, which whatever he's done with him. So if you're Axiom, you got to think about, okay, I need a great start, and I got to pray those guys back there stay side by side and battle with each other. Because the longer they battle, the more I can get away.
Exactly right. If they're battling each other,
because I don't know if he can hold them off. I mean, I'm not saying he can hold them off with their tires. I'm not saying he can't keep the lead. I'm not 100% sure. We wouldn't know unless Casey or Kilroy or Evernham got up there to him and started racing with him, whether or not those newer tires will be better. I got a feeling, yes, the new tires should, but then again, I've been fooled many a time.
It's chess and checkers. You gotta. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough.
If you were out front in this position, what would be going through your mind?
I want what you said. I want second and third to get up here and start racing in 1 and 2 and let me get as far out as I possibly can.
Yep, and then hopefully this thing goes green the rest of the way.
Yep, caution. I don't want another restart.
Yeah.
Don't want to do nothing.
Because every restart we get, and we see right there now Casey's going to take the EOL on it, but every restart we get does put that possibility of whoever's there in second or third or whatever coming around me or getting up near me. And then we could see another incident of what we just saw there. Unfortunately, Axiom drives into the turn. That car's not going to stick, and Kilroy's car and Evernham's car do, and the closing rate here is just so fast, might get in the back of him. And, that's another thing you got to think about also.
Yep, you're exactly right. I mean, you've hit the head.
Too many scenarios out there.
Yeah. It's and I think they're going to stay single file right here because they did not complete a lap, Joe. And that's in iRacing. That's not race control.
And I'm going to tell you what, I usually say this benefits the leader, and it will to an extent, but really this is probably not what Axiom at this point wants to see. because he would have rather have had
Been battling.
Everham behind him, because Everham would have shot, as soon as he took off, he would have shot down on the inside of Kilroy,
Yep.
and they would have battled for a little bit. Now Kilroy's got a perfect line of sight going to turn one. I say that, but we'll have to see how it starts off here. But green flag. I mean, Axiom's still going to get Axiom's still going to get the jump as a leader. The problem is, can he hold him off for any extensive amount of time? Here as green flag flies and Kilroy's all over the back end. He's got to go. And you see back here comes Raymond in the backside too.
It's going to take a little bit for these new tires to get some heat in them. It's going to benefit Axiom because he already has his tires heated up a little bit. So it's going to take 2 to 3 laps before Dalton even feels the good effects of fresh tires. But he's right there closing in on the back bumper of Thomas Axiom. I think it's going to be a close one, Joe, these next 5-6 laps.
Yeah, he is going to try to probably make Axiom run that car harder than he wants to, and this is the kind of territory that Axiom does not want to be in. He doesn't want to have to run that car very, very hard. He'd love to just be smooth and easy, but you can just see Kilroy with those better tires climbing all over the back end. So Axiom, if he can hang on to it for any amount of time, he might be okay. And but here comes Raymond in the backside, so good run up front.
Yeah, they are trying to get there. I just don't know if the time is on their side here. I'm watching Dalton. He's running a lot higher up now. He's trying to get that diamond, kind of arc the corner and get that much speed as he can coming off on exit. But
he needs to get a little closer to Axiom, or maybe harass him a little bit there. I don't know if he's just scared to get a little close to him, that the car might get out from under him. I see it right there, push a little bit going to the turn. I know he's a little bit hesitant on those bumps on the bottom, because it doesn't matter what good tires you got. Those things kind of kill you, but he needs to be a little bit closer, and you can see now he's starting to close the gap in. He's on the inside. Here we go. He's got to go. I mean, this is, if he's wanting to win this race, this is where you got to try. And this is where these new tires might benefit. As long as those bumps don't get out there and stomp him, I think it's pretty much, that was all tires right there.
Yep. That worked out for him. But still, Thomas Axiom, he's going to fight on that high side. He's going to get a good run right here. Look for the crossover move here, Joe.
Yeah, just don't have the tires to do it.
Just don't have the tires to do it. That's going to let Jason Raymond actually throw his name in the hat here.
Yeah, to come up for second place, and it's all Kilroy out front. Boys had an up and down race, spun earlier in. White flag, won't matter what happens. These guys can just battle on as the final laps. Top 3 out of the turn. Here comes Raymond. He's not going to get it. He's going to hang on the third, but Kilroy.
Good run.
Wow, I'm going to tell you, that was a good finish there, Tanner. Yep. Kilroy spun earlier in the race, went up on top of the wall earlier in the race, came back from the back to the front, and what a pit strategy, and just everything played out perfect for him to put this thing in victory lane.
It did. That was awesome. That was a very good run. Wow. Tires paid off. They finally paid off in a Crooked Line Racing Series, Joe.
Love it, man. That was a good run. Good run. As you've got the third place man, Jason Raymond up here. We'll get a word with him.
Jason, this is Tanner and Joe in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
So you led a lot of this race. I mean, you looked like the most dominant car, and then the tire strategy. Axiom got fresh tires, was able to get around you, but still, man, you looked really strong all race. Talk me through it.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that, to be honest. I haven't had very good history here, but I saw him pit. I was out in the lead, so I figured I might as well try to hold on as much as I could. And he got under me once, I was able to protect it. And then that second time when he got under me, I crossed him over, and tires were basically just gone at that point. I couldn't do anything to save the car.
Well, I mean, you did a marvelous job. I mean, you was on about 45 to 50 lap older tires, and we all know Nashville's hard on tires. I mean, it's hard on equipment. We've seen it all night. Tell me about the bumps a little bit. So that bump out of turn 2, how bad is that coming out of here in this modified?
Oh, it makes for an interesting race. You never know what's going to happen when you come out of the corners, and I was trying to arc the corner down a little bit because I figured it wouldn't be as bad down there, and it was working out for me. But still, you never know what's going to happen when you hit that bump. So it definitely adds a little characteristics to the track, and overall keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Right on, brother. Well, we'll congratulate you on the podium, Jason. I'm not seeing our second place finisher, Joe, but Jason, before
yeah, Kilroy. No, yeah, I don't see Axiom yet either.
I'm not seeing him. But Jason, before we cut you loose, you got any sponsors or shots you want to throw out there before we send you back?
Oh yeah, for sure. First of all, I gotta thank my parents and all the guys over at Five Kings Motorsports, as well as you guys for putting on the broadcast every week. I gotta thank Maconi Setup Shop, ButtKicker.com, FB Sim Racing Button Boxes, the Barn Package Store, MF Racing Designs, and Tile Chief.
There you go. I'll throw in Bam Racing Videos and Raise Energy for you. 5 Kings, we got a laundry list of them.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jason, I'll talk to you after this, buddy. Congratulations on the podium finish.
Thank you.
Like you said, don't see the second place man, Thomas Axiom, there.
I don't think he's very, very happy right now, Joe.
Oh, well, here's the thing. He was out front there for a while, and we knew that it was just going to take, it might have been a matter of time, but this guy here, Dalton Kilroy, up and down race all night long, and you had that right pit strategy, right time. The caution fell right in your lap where you needed it, and you had those new tires and was able to make that pass. I mean, take us through those closing laps there, Kilroy.
Yeah. When that caution kind of came out, I know both myself and Jason Raymond, and I think even Willie, we were all just kind of struggling because we hadn't obviously pit yet and taken tires. It was getting loose and treacherous. It was a wonder I didn't loop it like I did lap 2, and I was even I'm mad I called it too. I was like, I hope I'm not the person that shows how loose it is, and sure enough, lap 2, boom. But no, those last couple laps, I didn't think we'd have enough time, and then that one caution happened. I got around a couple guys on the restart, and then just was riding behind Axum trying to get a run, and I kind of moved him, so I feel bad about it, but at the same time, it's short track racing. I know he likes hard racing, so it's what it is. I'll take a win.
I gotta ask now, because I didn't see the move.
I didn't either.
I saw when you just got up underneath him, he might have got a little loose, but I didn't see you move him. But I mean, hey, maybe a different angle that we just didn't know about. But to me, it was basically there's new tires versus the old tires. I mean, it looked good to us.
Yeah, I think it was going into 3. I'd just gotten underneath him going through 1 and 2 and was a little bit ahead of him. Kind of didn't. I was turning at my normal point. I think he expected me to turn a little bit sooner, and we kind of touched a little bit.
Oh, y'all side by side. That's just racing it.
Yeah, but I still feel bad because I like to pass people clean. I don't like to bump them, move them out of the way.
Well, and
short track racing.
Yeah, I mean, and we always talk about the bump and run coming to play, which now bump and runs from behind, but you're talking about side by side. Usually it's the final laps. You got to go. And that's what me and Tanner was talking about too. You had no choice. It was your last hope. You had to get in there and utilize those tires. Like you said, you knew the bump was there on this track. It bit you earlier on in the race. You're able to fire back, get the win tonight. You got anybody want to thank for an awesome finish here, though? I
got to thank Daddy-O's Barbershop, FE Button Box, Bam Racing Videos, Raise Energy, Maconi Setup Shops, and both you two for doing the broadcast here tonight, and everybody else at 5 Kings Motorsports.
Oh, I'll tell you what, there you go. Winner tonight, Dalton Kilroy, man, able to put it in victory lane. And Tanner, I look, side by side, it fair game then. I mean, those two guys were just racing hard, final laps coming to the line. Yeah. I hate it. Hey, Axiom still had a fantastic car and a fantastic run tonight. It's just everything played out right there at the end for Dalton. Like we said, that caution flew at the right time. He had the right amount of tires, which was new, at the right time, and it just played out for him to put in victory lane.
Yep, everything worked out for him. And, I mean, it showed. He ended up bringing home the win tonight. So when we head off to Five Flags next week, Joe, we know Dalton Kilroy, he's living high right now, but next Tuesday night he's going to be firing off in the back.
Absolutely. So there you go, folks. From myself here and everybody at the Crooked Line Racing, 5 Kings Motorsports and Tour Modifieds. Everyone, have a good night.